Minasan, konnichiwa. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I just realized the music. I put the music way down low. Hang on. Let me get that louder for you guys. Infamous mystery scuff here coming in. Hang on. Man, that's still really quiet for you guys. I am so sorry. How's that? How's the volume on that? Hopefully that's better. But hello everybody, welcome to stream. I assume we got double Weiss, Valley, and just AJ. Hello. Oh no. Also, this is really loud in my own ears. I couldn't even hear that redeem over it. Oh well, I guess we're just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna need to troubleshoot this later, but I forgot stuff. Words. What is English? Making sure that you guys can hear that, but still hear me too. But hello, we're gonna be starting off with Valley's art redeem for this art stream. Valley had requested that we do Marth from Fire Emblem / Super Smash Bros. So I just grabbed, well, honestly, one of the first images that came up for Marth. I know Valley sent it to me, but I forgot to save it. So I'm usually pretty good about that, but I just totally forgot to. So apologies for that, Valley. Well, without further ado, let us jump into it. If I can remember which one is Clip Studio. This whole intro is just a mess. Welcome to my life. There's just been chaos this whole weekend has been so much chaos for me. Oh, big pen. Get that down here. We're gonna start off with the sketch per usual. Oh, I can barely see that. Let me try and get... We're gonna trash that and start over. Hopefully your guys' weekend was not as crazy as mine. There's just one instrument that kept going off constantly and just never got a break from it. There's the whole, not just yesterday, today, and Saturday too. It was our blood culture instrument. I'm sure most of them are probably just contaminants too, which is the frustrating thing. It's like all that work for blah. Anyway, my ranting aside, hope you guys have been having a good week. Hope you had a good weekend. Say I didn't do much because once again I was working for most of it. Say I think the only real noteworthy things that I've done since our last stream was worked a little bit on my cosplay, and I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, which is amazing, and I believe you should all go and see that. Please do yourself a favor. It is worth all the hype. But yeah, as I said, I was also working on my cosplay, mostly yesterday. Was trying to line my outfit and it just did not want to work for me. I just had to like basically finagle it. I like to pretend like I know how to cosplay, but I just kind of keep cutting and sewing until it looks the way that I want. So trying to figure out. So full disclaimer, I don't actually know Marth's personality. I only know him through Smash Bros, and I know his I fight for my friends. That's like the only thing I know about it. So he seems like a serious dude, so I'm gonna give him a serious expression. That's one way to put it. He's a stoic nerd. Is that really? I've actually never played any of the Fire Emblem games at all. I know the general mechanic of it though, because I had friends that played it. So I say this with every stream, but let me know if the music is too loud, too quiet. No, we're not bringing that up. I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up, Valley. Valley's referencing a very, very old fan comic that I made. Very first fan comic. It was bad. At least in my opinion, it was bad. So, never even got really past the first chapter. So, hopefully I've improved since then. No, don't share them on the Discord! Oh, please don't. Alright, I'll get, you can, maybe you can share one page. But no more, please. That was my very cringe era too, and I do not like to revisit that. So, I'm sure we all have our cringe eras. But yeah, as I said, it's kind of a weird conundrum. I don't know if anybody else has these kinds of situations that come up where you're like, the stuff isn't bad, but it reminds me of a time that I'd rather not think about. So, for that reason, I don't like looking at it. Not even if the Discords are doing it. No! I thought the story was really good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, you did help write with it, so. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Valley and I have known each other for a very long time. Just to give you guys an idea, this was a comic I drew back in high school. I want to say it was like freshman year? I honestly don't remember. If it was freshman year and I am remembering that correctly, then that would mean... how old am I? How old am I and how old are freshmen? God, why am I... Let's say 15. Let's say I was 15. That means it was 15 years ago that I drew that, so... one of those points in time, such a mood. I look back by art and cringe so hard, cause same. Yeah. Yeah. That's about all I can say is, yeah. Oh, man. Get really up in your face, Marth. I gotta see the details. Maybe it's because I haven't drawn Marth in like 15 years, but I do not remember him looking like this. Again, if you couldn't gather from context clues, the last time I drew him was in that fan comic. So... I feel like his face needs to be longer. Let's see if I can just like choppy his face in half. Don't ask. I make a lot of weird noises when I'm drawing. Woodmaker's such a classic. All right. This big old cloak. Oh, excusez-moi. All right. Okay, we gotta give him like big shoulders. He's got very, very wide pauldrons. What is that? Does anyone remember what it's called? Those jackets that have like the very pointed shoulders? There's a name for it and I cannot think of what it is right now. I know my fashion terms, you guys. Very good at it. It's my one problem when I go in to do cosplay judging and I'm like, I don't know what half of these terms do. I just looked up how to do it, and I don't know, or just kind of guessed. So they're asking me about all these things, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I remember one time specifically, I made a Hello Goodnight Miku, which is one of her modules for the song Negaposi Continues, and there's a pattern of a rainbow on her PJs. They are technically PJs, and I was trying to get it to look flush, so I was like, so I basically just spent the whole time trying to sew them, like ironing them down one by one so they'd be as flat as possible. And then I remember getting into the judging room and they were like, did you use interfacing? And in my brain, I'm like, the heck is interfacing? But yeah, they were quite impressed that I did that without interfacing. So I still just think about that all the time. Just shoulder pads. I thought there was a specific name for the, like, triangular shoulder pads. Oh yeah, let's get her dating on. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so he's got a crown on here. I really do hope I can get back into the convention scene. I haven't been to a convention in well over... I guess technically I did go to one convention, but I was only there for 2 hours and I wasn't even in cosplay. So I don't quite consider that to be going to a convention, so it's been a minute since I've been there. I didn't go last year, partly because there was a lot of con drama going on around my main convention I like to, but also because I had that trip to Japan that was gonna eat up a bunch of my money, so I didn't want to be spending too much extra because of that. So, never been to a con. I really enjoy it, but I will say that the convention space, like, the mood has changed. One big thing, just if you go to conventions, just be respectful. I know there's been a lot of issues of people not really... It's kind of weird, because it's like, there's certain things that you would think would be, like, common knowledge, but apparently it's been a really bad thing with people going into conventions, such as, like, people approaching you and expecting you to be in character. Oh, well, that's just a minor one. But there's also, like, the whole, like, yeah, don't be stinky. Don't please ask people before, like, just running up and making any physical contact with them. Because you'll see it around a lot of places. There's the signs that say cosplay is not consent. Always, well, any circumstance is not consent. So, yeah. But yeah, as long as you're pretty much just aware of your surroundings and you're just respectful of people, you'd be fine. But it's very fun. Alright. Moth. Yeah. I'm trying to... It's really weird, because I'm trying to think of if those situations happen to me, but the thing is, I tend to cosplay a lot of really obscure characters, so most people don't even recognize me, so most of them just don't even approach me. But I don't know if you cosplay somebody who's more well-known, if that... But again, this is just stuff I've heard from other cosplayers that has happened. Either to them, or they've witnessed it happen to other people. Ah, Beckaroo, hello, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? We're just talking about conventions. So, maybe... Alice, I don't know what part you jumped in at, but I'm curious if you've had that experience of somebody, like, approaching you trying to act and cosplay, or, like, just, you know, being weird around you. I would say I don't quite recall that for me, but again, I've done pretty obscure characters, so... The last time I went to Yobicon, I dressed up as V from Bug Fables, and one person recognized me in a convention of over 25,000 people. So if that gives you an idea of how obscure my cosplays tend to be. Alright. Might come back to the face. The artist's age-old conundrum of being able to draw one eye good and then the other one looks all derpy. Story of my life. It's gonna get a nice dark blue color. We're gonna start. Okay, that's a little too thick. Straight here. All right. I say even. Cool. That was a mood shift. I'm so sorry. I hope that didn't blow anyone's ears out. I forgot I have the Hat in Time music. And here it's like, whoa. I'm gonna turn this down just slightly. This is the Death Wish song for the director fight in the Hat in Time. Wow, this is like such a mooch. I don't even. Happened like maybe once or twice when someone gave up and was nothing but weird towards me. Thankfully, a friend saw and saved me. Oh, that's good at least. I'm glad to hear that. Ugh. Yeah, cons are fun, but again, just don't be respectful. Don't be weird. And you should be good. Alright. This is making me realize how long it's been since I've drawn Marth, and I know I already said that at the beginning, but I'm gonna reiterate it. Some really nice dubstep. Alright. It's smaller. Oh, I remember what I was saying. I was saying some of my latest cosplays are still pretty obscure. The one that I pretty much finished, there's like the last details I'm finishing up on it. Well, first of all, I should say that it's the Queen Elizant cosplay that I've shown off in the chat, or in the Discord. This crown, I did not size it properly. But, it's basically dumb, and I do want to wear that. And probably compete with it, too. But yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna recognize me in that. Alright, switch you over here. So no straight roads in here. Obscure cosplays for the win. Yeah, let's go. Say, my other cosplay would be more recognizable, but I don't know how much more recognizable. It is Monomon the Teacher from Hollow Knight. Again, the mask would be the dead giveaway, but I would hope the jellyfish body would also be a bit of a giveaway too. Well, I guess another question for people who have either been to conventions or just cosplayed in general. Have you ever been mistaken for a different character entirely? Again, I've always been such an obscure character that it hasn't really happened to me because nobody even knows who I am to begin with. But you would think would be like, oh, well, because they didn't recognize you, they thought you were a bunch of different characters. Not really, no. Let's see, because I'm really trying to think. Yeah, I don't really think I have been mistaken for, because I mean, say, I don't know if I technically count V, because this one time, or it was still the same convention that I mentioned where only one person recognized me. To be fair, V is kind of a B thing, but I put the Explorer's permit and her boomerang. I would say, unless you're talking about the V situation, I don't remember. Again, Valley and I have gone to a lot of conventions together, so. But, because I remember commenting it as we were leaving the convention. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody recognized me. I didn't think anyone would. And somebody had overheard the conversation and tried to guess who I was, and they didn't get it right. But that's the only time offhand that I can remember. I couldn't name it, but I know you have. I feel like I have to have, but I genuinely cannot remember. Oh, but I do remember one time where I was cosplaying Jade and Yuki, or Judai Yuki, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And somebody asked me if I was cosplaying the abridged version or the normal version. I'm like, they're the same character. They look exactly the same. What do you mean? Which one am I cosplaying? I had happened once, cosplayed Serenity from Yu-Gi-Oh! And somebody thought I was the oh my goodness. Taya and Serenity don't even look that similar, so. And they're in the same show. Like, come on, bro. It's like Joey's friend from high school versus his little sister. I'm hoping that you would be like, Taya has short hair, Serenity has long hair. Like, and I don't even think they dress similarly. Because we usually only see Serenity in one outfit, ever. She's got the little vest on and the shorts and the tank top, or not the tank top, good lord, the t-shirt. Yeah, I don't know how somebody could mistake Serenity for Taya. Boggles me. Because sometimes I can get it, because I've heard of cosplayers who say, like, they've cosplayed as Lapis Lazuli, or I guess just Lapis, from Steven Universe, and have been mistaken for Sadness from Inside Out. And it's like, I kind of get that, yeah, because blue people, and especially if it's like a kid sees you, that they may just see the blue and think Inside Out, because Inside Out's a lot more popular than Steven Universe. I mean, Steven Universe is popular, but I'd argue that Inside Out is even more popular. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Who knows why they got too confused, but it was funny. I know I made a couple people's day. I've talked about it multiple times when I cosplayed both as Hat Kid and the Conductor. I remember when I was cosplaying the Conductor that somebody came up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the Conductor, can I have a hug? And they were like so giddy. I loved it. I was living for it. Again, that was another one that I expected nobody recognized, but I actually had quite a few people recognize the Conductor. Oh my gosh, and I also just got reminded of something else. This was back when I wore my Revali cosplay to a convention, and this is the very first time this has ever happened. I actually had a videographer come up and ask me to be a part of their video. And of course, I'm elated because I love it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm actually like good enough to be in somebody's cosplay video. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh man. But I did have one mishap with my cosplay, and that was, because I didn't really use, like, boning, or, well, not boning, but just, like, most people when they make the really tall, or crazy hairdos, kind of like Revali has, they'll usually either like put foam in it or they'll make it like a helmet almost. And I didn't do that with Revali. I was just using hairspray and hoping it would stand out. Well, one of the locks of hair in front of my face, or it was supposed to go straight up, but it fell down in front of my face. And of course they wanted me to highlight that by flipping my hair sassy. Like, I mean, it could be in character for Revali, but like, that was the one part of my cosplay that I was freaking out about. And I didn't have the heart to be like, can we not do that? But yeah, I did it. I caved. And I'm like, sure. Let sassy Revali work it, girl. I have so many fun convention stories. Oh, another courtesy thing that I will mention. This has happened to me, unfortunately. If you see somebody eating, don't ask them for a cosplay picture. Please, let them eat. Come back to them later. Or just let them know, like, hey, if I see you later, can I ask you for a picture or something? But not while they're eating. Like, because this happened to me when I was in my Jack Atlas cosplay, and I literally had taken a bunch of the pieces of the costume off because I didn't want it getting in the way of the food. For anybody who doesn't know, the Jack Atlas is basically the Seto Kaiba of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and so he's got a lot of bling on, but I took the earrings off because I don't actually have my ears pierced, so I used magnetic earrings, and they're kind of painful. Anybody who's ever worn them, they're not comfortable. And so I had taken those off. I took the necklace off so it wouldn't get in the food. I took the gloves off because I didn't want to get food on the gloves. And yeah, it was just like a whole thing. And then I had somebody come up to me and ask me for a picture when I got all of my accessories taken off. And then had them ask me why I was missing those accessories. And it's like, because I'm eating. I'm in the middle of eating and I didn't want to get them dirty. That's fine. Respect rest time. Yes, please. Again, it's one of those things you would think is common, but I know conventions are kind of an exciting space and sometimes people forget. So it's just one of those moments where it was like, I'm not really looking my best right now because I'm, you know, in a moment of unwinding. And I can't say I haven't been guilty of that too. I've done that before in my earlier days of conventions. Alright. There's so many stories to tell. But yeah, when I wear Elizon, I'm fully expecting nobody. Or maybe she might be more recognized than V. Again, V does have the more generic V look, but again, I made sure to actually put on the explorer's permit, and by the way, I made it very big and I made it hang on my hip because it's like, that is supposed to emphasize it's V. All the cosplay conventions. Yes, it's so rude to interrupt anyone from their downtime, especially in complicated cosplay like the Jack Atlas example. Exactly. Yeah, so just be respectful. I lost track of what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the V cosplay. I had the two signature things that would like distinct her from just a random B to being like, oh, she's this character from Bug Fables. But again, it's a little more generic so I can understand people not quite recognizing it, but Elizon has the mask, so I feel like that might be a little more recognizable, but I fully expect people to believe that I'm from Hollow Knight just based off of the mask. I would not be surprised one bit. Because for those of you who haven't played Bug Fables, Elizon is like one of the only characters who wears a mask in the game, aside from her mother. I'm Queen Elizon II is who I'm cosplaying, but there's also a Queen Elizon I. And as far as I can recall, they're the only characters in the game that wear masks. But the masks look so similar to the masks in Hollow Knight that I'm expecting people to expect it to be a Hollow Knight cosplay. Even though if you kind of like look past that, it's like, the outfit I'm wearing is very bright purple, and nobody in Hollow Knight wears bright colors. The closest you get is Hornet, and she wears red, not purple. So... who knows? We'll only be able to tell once it's actually convention time. Oh my gosh, I actually just remembered another funny story from when I went to a convention cosplaying as Alina Gray from Meiji Record, which, for anybody who hasn't seen it, is the Madoka Magica spin-off series. And that was another convention where I only got recognized by like 2 people. But the one person I like unintentionally made their day, because anybody who knows me personally knows that I just kind of randomly, it's just a random weird habit of mine, will say greetings in another language other than English. And that time I was talking with them, that was the time I chose Italian, not even remembering that Alina is, in the English version, is supposed to be part Italian, and she throws random Italian words into her speech. So I was walking away and I'm like, ciao! And they got so excited, and then it took me a second to process. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta hop off. Hopefully I'll be back not until next stream. Thank you for joining, Beckaroo. Hope you had a great one, and hope you have a great rest of your evening. But yeah, I was like one of those unintentional, like, I just made somebody's day moments. Also, I was the only one at the Madoka Magica cosplay shoot that was from Meiji Record. I also got to have a picture of me, me strangling Kyubey. That was hilarious. But I love Alina. She's so unhinged. I'm very tempted to just kind of... I guess it's... I don't know, is it really spoiler? Yeah. Alina's a little kooky in the head. So... and it's kind of this weird thing where it's like she's basically just lost touch with reality. And she just kind of does her own thing without really considering consequence or other people's feelings. The girl raises witches as pets. If that gives you any indication of what she's like. Alright. One day I want to bring back my Revali cosplay, but I actually want to be at a Zelda photo shoot when I wear it. The one time I did wear my Revali cosplay, I had an actual professional photographer shoot. And unfortunately, because they don't usually release schedules until, like, basically the convention's, like, 2 days away. And I had already scheduled with my photographer a time window, and wouldn't you know it, that time window was exactly when the Zelda photo shoot was happening. So I didn't get to be part of that. I was so upset. But I got some really cool Revali pictures out of it, so... Also, that cosplay is so miserably hot, it does not breathe at all. I might end up remaking the leather part of it, just... I don't even know if I could remake it in a way that would make it more breathable. Because then it wouldn't look like leather armor. So, hello. Oh, I always forget about those. Audio redeems being all janked up. I don't know what it is about Clip Studio that just totally breaks it apart, but... Welcome, Osamu. We are, we are talking about cosplay stories. I don't know if you have any to share. I actually don't even know if you've cosplayed before. But yeah, just either cosplay stories or convention stories. They're all very fun. I did Joker for Spirit Day at high school. Nice! I actually remember one day I actually wore my Jaden Yuki cosplay out to college. Just because I felt like it. I'm like, I don't know what I want to wear. Just throw on a cosplay. And somebody came up and be like, oh my god, it's Jaden Yuki! It's like, yes, it's me. Hello. It was very fun. Yeah, I genuinely cannot remember why I wore it other than sheer boredom. Ugh. I just realized I'm doing this pattern backwards. This is supposed to be this shoulder. Ooh. Windmill. Hat in time. Alright. Sorry, I'm going into focus mode here. All these little details. I still smile when I think about the time that I had the 8-year-old kid scream down at the Mafia with me when I was in my Hat Kid cosplay. I absolutely loved it. You know, I tell that to anybody who doesn't know what Hat in Time is. They look at me like I'm an insane person. I'm like, listen, it was a great moment. The kid made my day too. Alright. So hard to tell what some of this pattern is. Alright. I don't think this is quite exact, but I'm hoping it's close enough. Apologies, Fally. Anybody who's just joining us in, this is Fally's Art Redeem to do Marth from Fire Emblem / Smash Bros. Alright, now comes my least favorite part, the face. So I want to try and get him to look... How am I trying to put this? Not have a baby face, basically. Alright, so... Alright. Let me not leave that on his abs. I'm sure some people would want that, but... Alright, let's transfer them down. Let's try to get to the face. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to look youthful, but without having a baby face. Kind of like how he is here. Here we go. Alright. Alright, let's flip this horizontal. Where is it? Alright, flip horizontal. Just make it easier for me to do the other eye. As I said earlier, it's like the one thing that could be the bane of an artist's existence. The other eye. It's also admittedly part of the reason why I, well, not part, how am I trying to word this? Part of the reason it's my default to go to, like a 3/4 view is because if the eyes don't perfectly match up, it's not as noticeable. Part of it is also because the 3/4 view is a bit more dynamic than like a head-on view or a side view. Not always, but that's why I tend to. Let me try and maybe his eyes will be better moved up a little bit. So he's got little goggles on. Sorry, I entertain myself. Let me go to this view. And then I can see it up here in this little corner part. So it's easier for me to see it zoomed out. And then maybe we'll just do one eye. Wonder what it would look like if I, oops, not like that. I want to, what? We want to free transform because I want to scoot that down just a hair. Again, just trying to feel it out. Yeah, I think that'll do. The only downside is that since it's a raster layer, it's not as obvious with this brush, but when you have a raster layer and you expand it, pixels can sometimes get a little fuzzy, so to speak. So just be mindful of that. The larger your canvas, the less noticeable it'll be, because like if you're looking at a picture from out here, you're not gonna notice those blurries, as opposed to something that's this size and it might be a little more noticeable. All right. Oops, that's not my pen. Also, that's not the color I want. I accidentally did the eyedropper tool when I was trying to move stuff. All right. All right. We're gonna flip that back to where it was before. Flip horizontal. All right, and I think it's about time we move towards our coloring. A little transparency lock so I don't accidentally start coloring on that layer. And again, if anyone remembers from previous streams, I don't like to actually color pick from the image. I just kind of like to eye match it as best as I can. So let's go with our paint bucket. Oops, that's not right. Refer other layers, that's what I want to do. Okay. Ooh, Nosk. Okay, I think those are the only skin. Looks a little... I don't know, he looks a little... I don't know if it's just the background, he looks a little jaundiced there. Let's get the G-pen out. Let's see if we can get that to look a little better. A little too tan. There we go. Alrighty. This song is so intimidating. I forgot how freaky this song can get. Doop, 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 bloop, 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 bloop. I'm looking at Vision Hunter notes of Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's called The Great Trevally. But saying Trevally makes me think of Revali. Trevally is nothing like Revali. It's Sanctum makes me think of the latter. That's totally fair. I get that. There's something today that I was literally having the same thought process of like, these two things aren't related, but whenever I say this word, it makes me think of that. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh, this is so hard to fill in. Dancing in the chat. I love it. Reminder that you can always do exclamation point dance and your little avatar down at the bottom will do a little dance for everybody. Doesn't cost anything to use, but it's just a fun little thing you can make the avatars do. I'm waiting for another Hat in Time song to come in and just blast our ears out after a chill song. that killing two birds took me way by surprise. When that showed up, I was like, wow, this is what we're doing now. I'm sure y'all have had that experience of listening to your music on shuffle, and then it just goes from being very chill to very intense, and you're like, all right. I just remembered as I was saying that there was a literal ProZD skit about that. It was like, I guess we're doing this now. So I am going to... Oh, I don't know if I've ever explained it. If anyone's wondering why I always have this like bluish periwinkle background instead of just a pure white one, it helps me to not pick as vibrant colors, because if you choose like straight colors, it can get very hard on the eyes. I have a song, is it Ear Deafening, and it's being mid is not a great cherry on top. Oh man, yeah, it's just one of those where you're just like, oh, I forgot a line. Better go fix that. And we want to make sure that we get the right pen in here. I forgot to not hit buttons while I'm doing that. There we go. And then just transfer that down. All right. Oops, that's not it. This and there. Okay. I think the rest of it's mostly blue with a little black. Boop. This episode of Mystery Stream, she will teach us how to do a gram stain. Well, if you would really like to know, you do 1 minute of crystal violet, and then you wash it off with water, and then you do 1 minute of gram iodine, and then wash it off, and then you use acetone to wash off any remaining crystal violet, and then you counter stain it with gram safranin for a minute, and then you let your slide dry. There you go, you've learned how to do a gram stain. Now, can you read a gram stain? That's the next question. For anybody who's wondering what a gram stain is, it's listen to the intro for a couple of seconds and just 20% too loud. Oh dear. Yes, quite often it happens where it'll be rock music and then it goes to pop while listening to my Spotify. I more have it where it goes to these orchestral soundtrack songs and then it's immediately blasting metal right afterwards. It's like, well, I guess we're here now. Anyway, backtracking a little bit. So bacteria organisms have two different classes, I guess is what you would call it. There's gram positive and gram negative, and certain bacteria belong to certain groups, so that helps us further speciate it without knowing for sure. Now go to the bathroom. Legally speaking, I'm not a doctor and thus cannot read. Anybody who's wondering, this is something from the Discord chat that I mentioned that I had an incident today. This was like minds thinking alike moment where I was very busy and I had to go to the bathroom and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna finish reading this Gramstain, and then once I'm done with the Gramstain, I'm just gonna really quickly go to the bathroom. And as I'm in the middle of reading that Gramstain, my bench partner comes up to me and they're like, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. And I'm like, sitting there burning. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just wait. Oh, it was bad. But it was hilarious when it happened too, so. Okay, back to this. Marth's got a lot of blue on him. I totally forgot what I was talking about. The Gramstains. The thing that differentiates gram-positives from gram-negatives is the amount of peptidoglycan within their walls. And what the Gramstain does is the crystal violet floods into the cells, and then when you put the gram iodine on top of that, it forms a complex with the crystal violet. And once it forms that complex, the peptidoglycan in the wall is, when it's really thick like it is on gram-positives, that complex can no longer get out of the cell wall, so it retains that purple color, as opposed to gram-negatives, which have almost no peptidoglycan in their walls, which that complex can easily go through the cell wall. And then safranin is just a counter stain so that you can see anything that didn't stain. That I hardly remember from high school. Yeah, fun sciencey terms. This is my whole life, so yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put his jacket on that same layer, because why not? But yeah, and then you've got the ones that we mostly focus on are the rods or bacillus versus the cocci, or like the little sphere-shaped ones. There's also spirochetes, but like we barely ever... the several years I've been working there, I've never seen a spirochete ever. But they're basically like the helix version of bacteria. Very spindly, springy looking ones. But yeah, there'll be gram-positive cocci, gram-positive bacilli, gram-negative bacilli, and gram-negative cocci. And then it gets even more complicated when... But have you seen MRSA? All the time, bro. All the time. MRSA is very common. We even have a test for it. I think I had one today. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was yesterday. I had one show up in a blood culture. For anybody who doesn't know, MRSA is methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, is what MRSA stands for. Which means it's resistant to penicillin, which is a very common antibiotic that is used all the time. So... Are y'all liking this educational trip? Y'all come here to stream to learn about biology? I'm sure that's what you all came here for. Stay hydrated. So just realized, okay. I was like, does Marth wear earrings? I don't even remember, but he doesn't. But yes, I actually also had an ESBL positive bacteria, which is just another fancy way of saying that it's also drug resistant, which stands for extended spectrum beta lactamase, which again, it produces beta lactamases, which basically, again, makes it more resistant to certain antibiotics. And the ever-evolving cases of the carbapenem-resistant organisms. Which those are the ones that are very important, and the CDC is like, no, send us every one of your carbapenem-resistant organisms because we need to track this down and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. They don't come very often, but they do come. I actually remember when I was studying medtech stuff to begin with, and I remember it was just kind of like starting to become a thing when I was studying it, and I did my research project based off of that. Actually, hang on. We're gonna go another layer and do the hair. Is that? Trying to decide if I like it. Sorry, I just like went into full like thinking mode. Whoop. That's not right. I'm gonna have to use a brush to fill in the gaps there. Paint unfilled areas. Let's go. Aw. Grandma's theme. Alright. Okay, we're going to a new layer. Just put this here. With the way the paintbrush or paint bucket tool works, the lines have to be closed off. I do have a gap closing tool, but it's not gonna close that big of a gap, so let's unlock that so it doesn't paint on that. Or for other layers. I do think I wanna. Oops, that's not right. Did I get all of the little spots? Hope I did. It's kind of giving it a glance over. Surprised you don't get sick even more often than all the tests you run. Well, we do run them in very controlled environments, so that's part of the reason why. Because unlike the nurses who are just basically being coughed on and having all sorts of bodily fluids on them, we have them in containers under hoods with well-ventilated areas and temperature-controlled. PPE is one heck of a thing, exactly. Exactly. Also, yeah, let's go! Hopes and dreams save the world! This song makes me so energized. Again, with that mood shift, going straight from the sad grandma song to the epic beat the bad guy song. Alright. I'm gonna do that color for his armor / collar. Undertale's so good. Alright. Might just use a brush to fill in those other little gaps, it'll be easier. Your soul is breaking, but it refused. I love the double meaning in that too. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that. Like, it refused, like it didn't want to do that, but also it refused, as in it came back together. I gotta love double meanings. I honestly didn't even catch that the first time I played the game. It's like, oh, I get it. It refused. So punny. But yes, I don't going back to our topic earlier, I don't think I'd want to be in the nurse's positions. Not only because I don't want all that gross stuff on top of me, nor do I want patients coughing and all that all over me. but also because I don't know that I'd be able to handle just dealing with some of the stuff they have to deal with. I will always commend nurses for dealing with the things they have to deal with, because man, it cannot be easy. We're gonna move through. Get some of Cass's theme in here. Alright, I forgot what layer this was on. Okay. It's taking me a second, hang on. I forgot what layer I put his eyes on. There we go, this layer. Alright. So we are going to the sheer will of nurses some days, I know, right? Oh, my boy Cass. There we go, back into the very intense Hat in Time. It's just a constant battle in this playlist, let me tell you. Actually going to Aru. I hate that that defaults to normal. Multiply, we're gonna turn that down. Ooh, that's a big airbrush. Let's get it. Again, we're gonna fix this up in post, but whoops, that's not. Alrighty. So let's do another multiply. Alright. I'm also just noticing some other little things I gotta tweak up there. Okay. So then we're going to drag you to the bottom. Oh, we're gonna, oops, not linear bird, I want lighten. We're going to, yeah. Do that, that. Yeah, just keep that at normal. Sorry, I'm just like thinking it over. Give me a second. Alrighty. Doing a heckin' thonk. Alright. And then lastly, we go here. Do this. And boom. All cleaned up. So his eyes fully rendered. Well, let's get to everything else. Alright. Gonna keep this yeet out of here. Yeah. Alright. A little bigger. Might change that color later, but for now let's just keep going with it. Alrighty. All right. I'm always so torn because I'm like, do I want to try and attempt more gradient shading like this? And then I'm like, that's not really my style though. I'm always so torn whenever I get to that. King of Hyrule. I think this is the Breath of the Wild version. Yeah. Do 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 do. It might be better just to do that. I'm gonna see how that looks, and if it looks funky, I'll change it. Yeah, I'll just add a second layer to that. Alright, add a second. Big color burn. Ooh, not like that. Not quite like that. A second shadow, secondary shadow. Trying to do the... It's not really where it goes. A special muscle here called the sternocleidomastoid. In case anyone's curious as to what it's called. It basically connects your sternum, your clavicle, and your mandibles, aka your jawbone. Alright, let's overlay. We're gonna put the... We're gonna turn that. I actually hate that color. Ugh. Clashes way too much with the highlights I've already established on him. Also, I should group these. Hang on. Through. Ooh, spoopy. This is the Gerudo Fortress in Majora's Mask. Is it? No, this is not that. This is the Ikana Castle. That's what this is. There's a lot of Zelda songs in here. I sometimes get them mixed up. Alrighty, so then next we're gonna... I know I'm doing this slightly different than I normally do, but just roll with me here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh. Again, sorry about the audio redeemers being all wonky. Alrighty. And again, this will get cleaned up in post. And then we will do a... No, not overlay. Let's do screen and see how that looks. Oh, I messed up my things. Alright. Trying to make it a little softer. All right. So then we go here, and we just whoop, get all that excess out. Let's do the gold next. I immediately was like, let's do the gold, and then I immediately forgot what I was doing. It's just a typical Monday. The story of my life. And multiply that, though. Oh, hard to know. Again, I swear this will look better once it's all cropped out. Actually, no, not there. I think I've mentioned it multiple times on stream, but I love listening to the song with like rain in the background. There's a YouTube video. I don't remember who makes it, but I had it saved onto my playlist for just some chill, cozy vibes. I'm gonna go overlay, and we're gonna go like that. Like that. Oh, I forgot his crown. I better go do that here in a second. Oh, good thing for color history. Oops, that's still the overlay layer. Need to do the multiply layer. Oop. Now we're gonna go to the overlay layer. I like to have gold have a little more intensity in the shading and highlights, just to give it that more sheen look to it. I want regular pen. Oopsie. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, really quickly. All right. I'm always so worried about singing on stream because I didn't even notice until the last time I watched stream that there's like a half-second delay between the music and when I sing, so it just sounds like I'm really off tempo. Indented? I guess it's kind of indented. You give off that illusion of an indent. Suppose we can always come back to that too. Don't ask me what that noise was that it made. I don't know what that was. Get my hydration in. Alrighty. Just like last time. I should actually put some highlights in those too. Let's do screen. Screen just slightly. that. Eep, eep. Eep, eep, eep. 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 There we go. Now... Hey, I guess we'll do the rest of the accessories. Also, I don't know why I'm not putting these in here like that. Beep. So we're gonna go back to that blue color for the shading and highlights. Well, that's not my pen. Here's my pen. Oh. Through. Multiply. And straight shading. Whoop. See, I think this is basically everything but the armor and the hair. So, needs the scarf too. I'm still mulling over that, like, who have I been mistaken for cosplay thing from earlier? I don't know why my brain is just like, I can't think of any. I did have one little girl, disclaimer that I did cosplay the Shadow Queen, but it was a very poorly made cosplay. I only have like one picture of it, but even though she didn't recognize me as the Shadow Queen, she did still recognize me as some version of Peach. Because she did ask me if I was Princess Peach, and I said, yes, I'm an evil version of her. Well, mainly because she asked me why I was wearing purple after I told her, yes, I was Princess Peach. That's the closest time I can remember. Also Molduga. Pretty sure this is called Molduga in the Wind Waker. Molgira, sorry. Molgira, not Molduga. It's a thing that swims around in the sand. It's basically the same thing. Thing that swims around in sand in a Zelda game. You guys have a favorite Zelda fight? Well, I guess boss fight, but I guess mini bosses could be included in that too. I still think back to the, it is a hinge a little bit on RNG, but not too much, really. Actually, no, I guess I shouldn't say that. It's like the face boss from Oracle of Ages. I can never remember the name of it, but I just remember really enjoying that boss fight. Such an old game, but it's a classic. It's like the second dungeon or something. And basically what you gotta do is, you gotta throw bombs into the top of his head, and you gotta time it just right so that, it'll land on a certain face that will deal damage to him. And the different faces do different things if they get landed on, so it's kind of one of those timing things. All these dubstep, or I guess just EDM remixes. They slap. Do, do, It's taking so much self-control to not sing along with these. Oh man. Okay, I think that should be everything. Yep. So let's go up. We're gonna do a render layer. Again, just adds a little more dimension to it. Itchy nose, itchy beak. Do 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 do. Told you guys I can't do it. My brain's just like Ursula and Little Mermaid. Sing! Sing! Let's get this. Actually, we're gonna do screen, not overlay. Ew. Alrighty. Forgot to put shading on here, as well as in here. Ah! I can't stop it. Sorry, it's gonna be delayed. I need to figure out how to fix that. Yeah, let's get some racing going on. I'm smiling like such a doof right now. Alright, I think that should be it for that. One thing I do find interesting with the Zelda soundtrack that I got is apparently the victory theme is a separate song from this song. The races. Like, most of the time, songs would like add that as like a little ending to the song. But it could just be words. It could also just be how they do it, how they did soundtracks back in the day. Alright, let us go to... Let's do the armor first because I'm kind of dreading the hair. I know it's looking weird at the moment with his hair still not shaded and rendered and all that, but shoosh. Alrighty. Two, change up through. This should be relatively quick though. Might have to go and fix that gold in there. Yeah, I will definitely have to go in and fix the gold a little bit. I probably should have done this first, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20. Also, I just realized I have this on normal and not multiply. There we go. Okay. Let's... Oops. color burn. Oh yeah, work that, honey. There's that. Alright. Let's do one for a lay. And just slightly. And then screen. So that's. Hopefully that doesn't make you motion sick when I like rotate the pictures around really quickly. Alrighty. To this. That. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna go back to the gold trim and tweak that a little bit. Should be this one. Pick that color. Oops. Oh, that's the gradient. Where'd I put the shading for that? Oh, it's like way up here. I didn't mean to have that way up there. Actually, I kind of like it better like that. I lied. There's that. Oh yeah. This is my personal favorite song from all of Undertale. This song slaps. Battle Against a True Hero? Yeah! It's the best song. Screw Megalovania. This is where the real money is. This song is also fun to play on Beat Saber. Yes, they do have an Undertale expansion pack. Or not Beat Saber, good lord. Groove Coaster. Because like as you're playing it, it looks like you're doing the battle from the game. And it's so fun. Speaking of, I guess while we're thinking of it, we are going to be playing Deltarune. I've been told both chapters 3 and 4 are out, so yay for that. I've been avoiding spoilers as much as I can, so it's gonna be an interesting ride. Knowing Toby Fox and the stuff that he does in games, it's gonna be an adventure. Do-do-do-do-do. Alright. Try to. Let me fix this really quickly. Oops, completely messed this up here. Shouldn't we do this because it's easier to control the width? There we go. Oh, more Undertale. This game is gonna, or this stream is gonna break my heart. Just being like, yeah, you ready to have it ripped to shreds next week? Here's more to remind you of how much it's gonna rip you to pieces. Last song made me think of a song from the Madoka Magica Rebellion movie. Aww. I really wish I could play Madoka Magica music, but the last time I had Madoka Magica music in here, my video got flagged to heck. And I basically couldn't upload that video because there were like 8 different spots in the song, in the video that got flagged. It was very upsetting. Because yeah, if you are, even if you're playing the soundtrack, the algorithm, or like the thing that tracks, you know, use of, well, I guess just stealing stuff. You know, people just re-uploading videos of anime or episodes of shows and posting it to YouTube. That it just hears the background music and is like, oh, immediately taking that down because that's from Madoka Magica. You're just posting Madoka Magica. And I really just don't want to have to fight that battle of like, no, it's not Madoka Magica. It's, well, it's just the soundtrack. It's not the actual show. The same thing happened with the Demon Slayer game that we played. Even though it was just the game, it kept getting flagged left and right because of, again, there was, go figure, there's Demon Slayer music in the Demon Slayer game. It's like, yeah, that's kind of a given. At least you can get away with it in video games. I have something to entertain you guys with while I'm doing the art streams, instead of just generic, random, copyright-free music or public domain songs. That's also the reason you don't hear me put on like a bunch of pop music and stuff, because in order to upload this to YouTube, I need to make sure it's not gonna get copyright struck. Alright, I think we're just about done with this. Hair was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I'm making sure that I got everything. But I think... yeah, I think that should be it. How does it look, Fally? I hope you like it. Get that saved before I forget. I'm gonna save it here for now. Marth. Capitals. Oh, I'll do a little finger stretch here. Might also go refill my water. I'll let you guys admire this a little bit. Something that arises from the algorithm bots only searching for music and ignoring the context of the video. Yeah, like I said, I just don't want to have to deal with all the mess that comes with trying to fight that, you know? It's just way easier to be like, nope, not doing it. Alright, I am gonna be right back. Well, I go refill mi water. Chotto mate. I'm back. Alright. With that out of the way, let's move on to something else. Because I don't really have a whole lot of ideas. We're just gonna go work on our Kamek. Let's picture Marth out of here. Bye bye, Marth. Also need to get my reference pictures up here, so take me a second. Hang on. Ooh, Goron Racing. Just pull up other pages. The main reason for that is just to make sure that everybody's still standing in the proper places. Gotta keep it consistent. Where's my pictures? There we go. Now let's get some screenshots in here. I forgot I got all the pride flags still saved onto my computer. Alright, let's go. Almost threw my headphones off doing that. Just very aggressively headbanging. It's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. Alright. Let's go back to these. Tip if you're ever doing like I guess a comic or just anything, you can actually make your own colored palettes, and so I actually made one for all of the characters here so that I would be consistently choosing the same colors for them. So, unfortunately I haven't done it much with the, oops. I haven't done that much with the backgrounds, but let's get back here. My G pen, which is now really tiny because this canvas is freaking huge. This is 13%. I think it saves at like, what is it? 7,000 pixels tall. It's very big. Alright. Because Arya's supposed to be standing like, basically like where this bee girl is. The bee girl that likes watching people get beat up. Don't ask. I'll pull out my other. Peer pressure is on. Just pull this picture out too. This is a previous page. It is uploaded if anyone wants to read it. Oh, this song always makes me sad. This is the resting grounds from Hollow Knight, if anyone's wondering. So somber, but also, like, you know, invokes the feeling of spirits being at peace. Okay, we're going to... should probably put the bottom grass part down first before I start doing all these leaves. I'm gonna cheat. I'm actually gonna pull from this. I haven't mentioned yet that I hate backgrounds. I hate drawing backgrounds. They're the bane of my existence. Who let me do this? I mostly do the lineless backgrounds just because it helps to not quote-unquote drown the main characters. Oops, I didn't put in a new layer. 1010! Everybody's favorite boy band. Ah. I think I wanted to put Sayu's song in here, but because hers had lyrics in it, I was worried it would get flagged. I don't know if I actually did or remove it or not, but I know that was a concern with that one. Again, having just watched K-pop Demon Slayers, that's literally all I can think of right now. I'm listening to this boy band music. Totally different context, but still. There's that. Okay, then we're gonna put... oh, that's not it. Zoom in a little bit. We're going to... one downside to this tablet is that sometimes the gripper thing just stops working. I don't know why. And then magically while I'm in the middle of drawing it'll fix itself. I don't know why it does that. I'm sure you guys can see my little grabby hand, but it ain't doing anything. It's probably gonna be the one part that I do end up doing lines on is just this thing because it's a little easier. actually. Okay. Molduga. This is the actual Molduga song. The one that I was mistaking the other one for. Ugh. Yeah, what I was saying way earlier in the stream. This is so big that if I make little mistakes, it's not the end of the world. Because this is so zoomed out. I put this at a 10th, not a 10th, I think it's like a 7th of the size of what the canvas actually is when I upload it. So a lot of the really, really teeny things are not that noticeable. Alrighty. Put this underneath a bit. Alrighty. And again, I'll worry about highlights and shading in a little bit. Let's actually go to our special pins. We're gonna zoom. Yeah, because this is zoom in right here, where it already looks super zoomed in. That's 25% of the actual canvas size. So. Yeah, whenever I do wood grain, I usually just kind of like little loopies, but mostly just kind of lines here and there. I just noticed that these are not quite as sharp as I would like them. Yeah, there's like little gaps, but we'll cover those up later. And I'm not too concerned right now that some of this stuff is coming over the canvas, because we will cut that out later. Oops, that's the wrong brush. There's the brush. Do well like that. Readjusting myself, hang on. I can put this back on. Alrighty, so. Shade up like that there. Let's do. Alrighty. Go back here. All right. Oh, all the Undertale songs have come to torment me. There aren't even that many Undertale songs on here. They just keep showing up. Just like, did you forget about me? Here's your friendly reminder. Reminder that I still exist. Alright, I'm gonna make sure that we're in front of these three. And we're going to color burn. Turn it down. Yeah, it's Heartache. AKA Toriel's theme. Or boss theme, I guess. Why does this look weird? Well, that's not right. There we go. Like it was just not. Actually, I wonder if it's easier. It's been a hot minute since I've done these backgrounds. You're gonna have to give me a second. That should be here. Kamaro's dance. Everyone's favorite. Tell me you didn't dance to this as a kid. I think we all did at least once. Okay. Oops, that's not right. Do this. And then we're gonna go up. There we go. And here. Up. Yeah, I'm getting myself confused. I'm like, what am I doing? And then just so we're gonna move everything in here. I should have done this from the beginning, but I didn't. So then I will, what I then do is I go to here and then go to this folder and cut everything out around it. Is it cut? Why are you not cutting? There we go. Had to think about it for a second. Various snippets of lyrics from different lyrical adaptations of these Undertale songs keep popping into my head. Nice. I did see a parody of Undertale and Steven Universe. What's the song? Stronger Than You? I think that's what it's called. I like it. Also Revenge of the Stuffy Nose. Oops, that's not the right tool. I'm gonna fill in some of these. Alrighty. So then these should be the little blades of grass down at the bottom. I'm gonna do, oops, not color burn, multiply. Alrighty. Again, I try to avoid doing sharp shading or lines on the background so that it doesn't drown the characters out. Okay. Where was I? There I am. Oops, let's... in 3DS version, when teaching those two women to dance, cutscene has one of the bomber kids walking up next to you, then twerking in a cutscene. never seen that. I've only played the original. I haven't played the remake. That is hilarious. I kind of want to see that. Oh, man. So this multiply layer should not be that vibrant. Alrighty. You. Then you. There we go. Let's put some highlights over these. Oops, not glow. I don't want to add glow because that's going to be hideous looking. Ugh. Feel like I need to add multiply. It's the colors of the things that are throwing me off. Let me lock the transparency on this one and change that color. Yeah, I think it's the colors that were throwing me. Oops, that's not. Lock this one. Yeah, I think that's why I was like, this doesn't look right. Why does this not look right? Make them a little duller. It's also, I'm going to change these as well. There we go. So I don't quite blend in with her as much. The Bomber Kid isn't even part of the cutscene. He just saw it close enough to you that he goes up to you and starts waving. Waving his bike. You're teaching women dance moves. I have to see this now. Somebody needs to send this to me. Please. It's a nice way to like give texture to the shading and highlighting, making it look weird. And then just airbrush so it like, kind of like fades into that. And then once again, we're going to, oops. Actually, no, yeah, that's what I want to do. That. All right. And then I know I haven't shaded this thing, but kind of want to just, actually, no, I should probably shade that first. That'll be better. Because if I need to move the word bubbles around, it's a lot easier to do it if I have everything in the background already done. Because then I don't have to like try and patch up wherever the word bubble got moved. Okay, so where's our... Oops, why did that get moved? That's not what I wanted moved. I wanted this layer moved. To... Wait. Move this layer all the way up here. And multiply. And... I'm just waiting for... sniffles. Hang on. Getting a sniffle attack, hang on. Jeez, I'm smacking everything. I'm so sorry. Oh my god! I swear I didn't look and I was about to say, I'm waiting for Infinite's song to come up next. And it did. I predicted it, guys. I willed it into existence. Oh man. Edgy boy. Sorry, I was literally in the middle of saying that. Oh man, Infinite's gonna come up next, I'm just calling it now. Again, I don't want to sing it, but it'll sound like I'm way off key, or way off time with it. Oh, whoa, stop. I still laugh at the fact that they made a Sonic and villain and they're just like, what's he like? Edge. But like, what's his personality? Edgy. He's a fun villain though. But it just kind of cracks me up. This is an illusion, open up your eyes. This is the name of the song. It's called Infinite, and it's from Sonic Forces. But yeah, it's really hard to hear, but when you're playing the game, you can actually hear this song playing in the background anytime Infinite shows up. Man, it's been so long since we played Sonic Forces. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now, let's go to add word bubbles. I know there's not really a whole lot going on over there, but first of all, nice thing that Clip Studio has is all these, they're called objects and materials, but they have a lot of ones specifically for manga, including balloons, word balloons. Ready to go to dialogue, and then we gotta find our word bubbles. Here we go. Actually, I need one of the exclamation ones first. Find which one. This one might work best. So we're gonna add that to the canvas. We're gonna move it up here because it needs to be above the word bubbles, or above the frames. And since this is an object, it's considered a vector, which means no matter how much like moving I do of it or adjusting, it'll retain that like sharp, crisp edge, as opposed to the raster layers that will not and get all that, they'll get all that blurry, gunky look to them. And in a canvas this big, it wouldn't make that huge of a difference, but and I'm basically just manipulating the curves of this. Oops. This did not work out how I wanted it to. I'm actually gonna see if I have a better one. I'm gonna delete that. I wanna see if I have a better stinger word bubble in here. Do this one. Choo! That somehow ended up in the middle of the panels. And then like that. And I need to make sure that it's not in V's face. Like that. And then these colors here, the first color is going to be the lines of the word bubble. And then the second color is going to be the inside color. So, got that. And then I always put text in a separate layer. It'll try and put it in the same layer as the object because text is also considered vector layers, but it just creates a whole headache. If in its theme fits the vibe that I like listening to, but looking at me, I wouldn't be the first genre you'd think of. That's exactly me. I've joked about it a couple times with my friends where I'm like, I have this kawaii cute girl aesthetic, and then I'm sitting here listening to like metal screamo. Oop. Didn't even do the right text, and it's also for some reason 90. I don't know why it does this. It just decides where it's going to put random things. So first of all, I need Bubblegum Sans, because that's the name of the font used in Bug Fables. And then we also need to change the color to the proper color. So, have her go. Wait. Wait. We're gonna italicize that. Eat. Wheat. Okay, again, I gotta get the I gotta get my little like what draft, I guess? I have these little booklets where I basically like plan out all of the pages ahead of time. It's planned out like really far, but it also helps me when I come back to these several months later and I'm like, what were they supposed to be saying in this? And I can just reference the books and be like, oh yeah, that's what they were saying. Okay, so we're gonna come to a regular. The subtitle font for Sonic Adventure 2 is also Comic Sans. Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I mentioned it in the Hat in Time stream, or not Hat in Time stream, the Hat in Time poster that we were making, that I try to get a lot of video game fonts into my computer, mostly to be able to use for fan art and fan comics like these. So like this one, This is the Bug Fables font. Again, Bubblegum Sands. There's the Hat in Time font, which is Cursed Casual. And I have Hollow Knight, which is Trajan Pro. Yes, I have these remembered. Don't at me. Then, also I forgot to mention this little brush size here. That's actually the thickness of the line. I usually do about 15. And then we are going to... And again, the reason I like to keep the text and objects separate is because if I find that the dialogue that I wrote doesn't match like the size of the word bubble, it's a lot easier to finagle around when they're on separate layers. So we're gonna... Actually, let me get rid of that because I already have a text layer here. I don't know why it keeps insisting on putting it down there, but okay. Why are you defaulting to Old English? I don't want that. Alright, and then we're gonna take the font size down to 20. And we're, whoop. Or just reset everything. Just so I can make it easier for me to do. That's not actually what the dialogue is, it's just words in there. Alright. This needs to be centered. Oh, the fan is blowing the pages away. You're flipping pages, that's what... Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to make the word bubble a little wider for that. Oops, that's not it. Cancel. Get out of there. I need the object button. And again, sometimes I might look at this and be like, I don't like how I worded that, let's change it. But, I think I'm gonna change that. Gotta love trying to finagle word bubbles to look good. She might be in danger. Oh no. For some context, if you haven't read my comic up to this point, Arya has put up a request for these guys to basically try and help Chell, this new moth, get adjusted to her place in the village, or in the settlement. But Leaf has just sensed really powerful magic, and so they're like, sorry Arya, we're gonna have to put Chell on the side because we need to figure out where the source is. And that's why she's saying like, wait, Chell's in the same direction as that magic, so she might be in danger, please go help her. If you see her, please protect her. So, that's the context for this. Also versus Yinu, let's go. I love the NSR music. Okay. I might shrink this text even smaller. Where's my... There we go. Oopsie. Oopsie. There we go. It's a hot minute, so I can't remember what font size I used for this. I think it was somewhere between 17 and 18. I could just go back into the... Actually, I might do that. Let me go back into one of the old pages. You guys can see. Oh, it won't let me do it while I'm still editing the text. Hang on, there we go. Open. Clip files. Just open this page up. Oh, it's 15. Okay. So that way I can keep the font relatively consistent with its size. Yeah, here. Don't save. I don't know what to describe my aesthetic as. I like just various aspects of various franchises I'm a fan of. Nice, nice. Yeah, I have very, very taste in music, but I definitely lean more towards the, or sorry, we're talking about just aesthetics in general. I tend to flip-flop between, like, pastel cute and goth girl, so I've been much more favoring the goth girl look lately. Okay, so we're gonna change this. We're gonna make that font. So the text actually has to be highlighted for me to do this. 15. So let's move these two layers. We're gonna move both of them that way. Do this, object transform. Actually, let me. This is one of the more tedious parts of the comic, I will admit. And one of the rules of thumb that I've learned is that your word bubbles should have enough space to fit in the letter E in each of these corners here. So that way it's more easily readable to your audience. Because that's one of the biggest things I keep trying to go for, is that make sure that this is easy to read. I say as I make this read from right to left. If anyone's curious why I made that, it's because I read so much manga that I just instinctively start, like, any comic I come across, I just instinctively read it from right to left. And then it leaves me really confused, and I kind of wanted to avoid doing that to myself while making a comic. So I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna make this whole thing read right to left and just put a heads up for people before we do that. Let's do it like this. Get a little bit of overlay. Yeah, let's go back to this. We're gonna change our colors. Make this 15. Might be in danger. I'd really not like Arya's hand to be covered up, but that'll have to be something I fix after because I have to turn this into a raster layer, since Arya's picture is actually on a separate layer. But I'm gonna like cut out part of this word bubble so that you can see the tips of her fingers behind it. I did a similar technique in a previous page. See if I pull it up, so you can gotta get an idea of what I'm talking about. Like this, see where her hands just kind of barely go over the word bubble. It doesn't obstruct from it, it's just a choice. Let's get rid of that, because I don't need that at the moment. Let's do that. More Eve. Alrighty. And why does it keep defaulting to the old English text? It used to default to Bubblegum Sands, and now ever since I did that poster with the hat and time, it's just defaulting to... It just defaults to the... whatever font, the old English font. Alright. Just... I get the lines. Put 15. Alright. And then... Again, sometimes I have them worded differently. I have it here, if you find her, please protect her. I'm gonna like, I'm gonna just say please protect her from the magic user. Where did it? Let me find her. Oop. Up there. Delete. Alright, please protect her from the magic user. Oh gosh dang it, why did it do that? I don't know if you can see down here, put the font on the same layer. There we go. Now it's on a separate layer. Except don't attach to that. I don't want. Skin can be really finicky at times. And again, just making sure the font is high enough so that when I erase this part, it'll be not blocking the words. And then I'm gonna show you something cool that you can do with the raster layers. Just make sure that I have the right one. So if I have both of these objects, and I merge them down with each other, boom! There we go. Now they're still treated as two separate objects. They're fine. So if I just wanted to pick one, whoops, that's not it. One word bubble, I could. Why are you being difficult when I'm trying to show off cool things? So I can still move this and separate it, but I can still merge it into this one if I want. But yeah, so that way it kind of leads your eye to be like, okay, reading here, she might be in danger, lead your eye here. And then my other concern is that I'm worried the conversation flow may not be natural. Because when I initially wrote this scene, I forgot to have Arya describe what Chell looks like. And so when the gang found her and they're like, oh, that must be Chell, and I'm looking back at it and I'm like, how would they have known that was her? Like, is it just like, they need something to be able to say, oh yeah, that's Chell. And so one of the key things about Chell is that she wears an acorn mask, so I want Arya to be like, she wears an acorn mask, like, you'll know her when you see her, because she wears a mask over half of her face. And they already know from previous context that she's a moth. So if they find a moth with half her face covered with an acorn mask, they're like, that must be Chell. Okay, let's go. Also, I don't think I ever said this, but Weiss gets credit for helping me come up with Chell's name. I couldn't think of a name for her when I first created her. Alright, we're going to put one more word bubble. And again, this is just going to be Arya being like, Chell looks like this. I'm gonna put it above the word boxes. And again, I might do the same thing of like just cropping out a little bit of that. So we'll go, oops. Lines, whoops. There we go. Before, okay. So then we'll go back here. Queen's Gardens. Some more scribble letters in there. Stop trying to put the text down there. I don't want it down there. Me. Also, I just realized it just says bub up here. I am easily amused by myself, you guys. Alrighty, so I might be able to shrink this word bubble down here in a moment. No, when you see her, she Also, confession time. I had a teacher in 7th grade, or not 7th grade, 8th grade, that basically beat semicolons out of me, threatening to basically giving me a 0 if I ever used a semicolon, and now it's been so long since I've used a semicolon that I genuinely have forgotten how to properly use a semicolon. So, yeah. She was like so upset, or so angry that nobody knew how to properly use a semicolon. So, yeah. Just put that semicolon in there and I'm like, wait a minute. Am I using this right? Is this actually how you use a semicolon? I can't remember. Here's an acorn mask. Half her face. Okay, that didn't take up nearly as much space as I thought it was going to, so we can shrink this word bubble down. Okay, so now we're creating a tangent line, which I want to avoid, so we're going to move this slightly over here. Tangent line, when I say that, I basically mean like something's touching it at a weird angle. Like a T, basically. I'll show you. Oops, that's not it. Stop! Also, verbosa. So this is how I had it before, but you see how her thumb is like right up beside that word bubble. Just makes the readability a little muddier. So give it a little bit of space so it's easier. Like that. And then lastly, what I can do is, first of all, get this because that's confusing me. Merge these 3 down because we have this tool that lets us basically create our own word bubbles. But here, this is specifically for tails. So we can connect like that. And then, so just realized, first of all, this needs to be fixed because the lines for that did not go to 15. Here we go. If I say, hang on, I'm just like rereading it and I'm like, it sounds weird. Oh, hey, Bug Fables. Acorn mask over. Yeah. For her. Oops. Again, sorry, I'm just like pondering like how to word it properly. Because there's like context. Because I don't want to say she's a brown moth because that sounds redundant. Like, they already know she's moth. Also, I don't know how that plus got in there. No, when you see her, she's brown and wears an acorn mask over half of her face. Just giving a brief description because of the urgency of the situation. Alright, I think that's good enough. Might change that just to be a hair bigger. There we go. Alright. And then let's add a little tail to that as well. All right, let's save that real quick, and then we can move on to the top panel. Later on, I might add something in here just so it doesn't look empty in the spot, but I gotta figure out what that is first. But for now, we're just gonna move ahead to the next panel. Or I guess previous panel. So, that, collapse all of these. Oh, in the same way that I was mentioning before about keeping things in separate layers. Do that with the characters as well. But like, yeah, I would have a problem if I ended up moving V anywhere because, see, she's kind of cut off. But at least the other two, if I moved them around, it wouldn't be as bad. Aw. Also, that I'm gonna group the text together just to make it easier for my brain. I'll do panel 2 word bubbles. Because we will have a word bubble up here too, but I want to make sure it doesn't get confused with the stuff down here. Alright. Alright. Well, that's not what I wanted. Alright. And then we're going to just grab this. And now we just want to refer only to the editing layer and change that back to refer other layers. And then that's why I had this page up. Because I kind of wanted it to be... I hate backgrounds. I mentioned that. Oh, backgrounds. Anyway, chapstick. For anybody wondering, yes, I do have cherry blossom flavored chapstick. It's a very weird flavor for chapstick, but also had cherry blossom lemonade, so very floral. Alrighty. We're gonna do this. Deselect that. Well, the other thing that makes this hard too is that I can barely see that from the actual gameplay perspective, because I've been trying to use screenshots to reference the areas, but you don't see this shot of the Golden Settlement from the other direction, so I kind of have to guess what's there based off of the surrounding area. So, like, hang on. I had a screenshot of this, hang on. Revali, my boy! Oh, my boy. Sorry. Can't ever say no to my boy. Where is it? There's so many folders now that it's so hard to keep track of. Oh yeah. So here, this is the previous quote-unquote room before you get into the Golden Settlement, so I kind of had to make a guess as to what the backside of the Golden Settlement looked just based on this and this. It's like, what do I do? How do I do that? So hopefully this looks convincing enough. My boy! Oh, Revali. I love you. On this channel, we stan Revali. Alrighty. you know, there was the other thing too of like trying to get the color of the sky right so that it didn't like clash with everything else. Oh, very ominous. Oh, nothing gives you the heebie-jeebies quite like this. Oh, I got the heebie-jeebies just listening to the songs, like, whoa. Dawn of the final day will never... I will never be able to handle it. Okay, we're gonna put another layer. Also, hunger is striking. I had a very early dinner, like an hour earlier than what I normally do, so I'm like really hungry right now. So I usually try to eat like right before stream so that way I can, you know, not have to eat before going to bed. So... Alrighty. This is gonna be difficult. Trying to make this look like it's a little quote-unquote tree sticking out behind Kawabu without it looking weirdly like it's coming out of his head. Hey, it's Snowden! Even though it's not. It just looks weird placed like that. Trying to find a way that this... Yeah! It's the Wind Waker shop. So great. Man, that's gonna be hard. I might have to think on that one, how to get that to not look weird. I might end up calling stream here a few minutes earlier than normal, but... Okay, maybe I'll wait till this song is done. Well, it shouldn't be long, but I like the song. I guess I could just do announcements while I'm here, but yeah, thank you for joining. Our next Monday stream, as I said earlier, will be Deltarune Chapter 3 and then Chapter 4, so hope y'all are looking forward to that. Again, I assume that both of them are out. This is just random hearsay I've heard. I know for sure that Chapter 3 is out. I've heard through hearsay that Chapter 4 is also out. But, yeah, so we'll be playing that next Monday. And Wednesday we will be continuing Pokemon, Brilliant Diamond. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I don't think I have anything else super crazy or anything really to announce at the moment. So, thank you everybody who joined. I hope you had a good time here. And thanks again, Valley, for the art redeem. And I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Mata ne!